Welcome back to the channel, and today I want to try to experiment with something that just came out of nowhere. I don't know what made me think of this, but I thought of the idea of a roll cage, and usually that is built within the frame of a car. But the thing with the roll cages is that they're technically rigid, and they're just providing some protection to what's inside the car. But what if you had a roll cage that was like a baby bumper roll cage that's supposed to just actually really cushion and protect yourself from yourself? So it'd be like an external roll cage that has suspension on it, so that no matter what direction you slam into something with your car, it cushions the effect. I think this will be an interesting engineering challenge, because as I was thinking about this, I'm just spawning it. This isn't really about the car. This is about the cage around the car, and I think what better car than my drift car, because what's gonna be the most likely to actually slam into things recklessly? It's probably gonna be the drift car. I don't even remember exactly how this thing works. I think I put like a shifting thing in here, but I don't remember how to do it. I do remember how to drift though. Whee! I'm actually pretty bad at it. I think the dirt makes it really a lot worse. But here's the thing. If I drift and I hit something like this, I want to try to minimize damage to the base vehicle. So I want to have a roll cage that protects me, but the engineering challenge is going to be to get the roll cage to cushion in all directions while also being a singular solid object. And whenever I think this through, I think like, okay, so if I have suspension cushioning like in this direction, and then also in this direction, those suspensions are going to cancel each other out unless there's some kind of centralized multi-directional suspension point. And I was like, that sounds like an interesting thing to try to do, so let's do it. All right, so let me give a bit of an example here. Should I use the big suspension? That seems like it might be a little bit too far. So now if I brace between these two, I think it'll highlight the issue that I was talking about. All right, so I got this. A little bit longer than I expected to map this out, but I got the thing, and you can see we got suspension on the front, we got suspension on the sides, but these suspensions do not flex perpendicular to their direction of travel. So if I do this, you can see it's completely rigid. It does not cushion at all. It is just a hard impact, which I gotta be honest is surviving a little bit better than I expected. But if I was to just then disconnect these attachment points to these sideways suspensions, you should see that it'll, well, that's not good either. But you can see that the suspension actually travels. It's a little loose right now, apparently. It did the exact opposite thing that it was intended to do. It translated the damage from the beams, from the cage to the car, which is literally the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. So that's not a good sign, but we're just gonna follow this through anyway. So the challenge then becomes, how do I get both of these directions of travel? If I imagine like a cage around the car, how do I get that cage to move all the way around no matter which direction that it comes from? And the solution isn't like that hard to imagine or to think of, but implementing it might be a little bit difficult. Obviously, we need each of these suspension directions to be codependent, or at least one dependent on the other. The last, whatever order I build them in, the last one has to be dependent on the first one. So in order to do that, I think I'm gonna need a central point of attachment, which I'm just going to use the top of the vehicle here. So then this is going to be the compression in the forward and back direction. Now I just need to make sure that this direction is built off of this one. That way, however this moves right here, it'll move this entire one with it. And then if we just have these two perpendicular directions, the diagonals should still work. And I just hope I can build something that makes sense for this. Unfortunately, unfortunately, these things are a different length. They look to be an odd length and an even width, which makes symmetry frustrating with this one. But it should be fine enough. All right, I'm gonna use some wedges to build off of this. It'll be relatively lightweight. So we need to build... Actually, the wedges may be a mistake because that's also the attachment point. The integrity is going to be reliant on these wedges, and I don't know how the impact is going to get translated. And I know that wedges are weaker than some other blocks. But this wedge attaches it to my car. And now we need to attach this side. Oh, nope. This is more complicated. Because now this is actually only going to compress in 2 of the axes. Because if I attach this to here, then if I hit something in reverse, this suspension will compress in this direction. But if I hit something over here, this suspension does not stretch. So this just got this just doubled in the amount of space, at least, that I'll have to figure out. Oh no. So now we need to be able to compress in 2 different directions, and those need to also kind of be codependent on each other. Oh no, this is way more complicated than I thought. It would be so much easier if one of these suspensions, or if these suspensions could be set to like default to mid stretch, which doesn't make sense, I know. But if it could go in both directions, that would make this a lot easier. Well, hold on, let me just follow my idea through for this particular version of the build so we can at least see it in action at its most basic functionality. All right, there we go. So now the cage has to be built off of this. All right, so I got like just a little bit of an imitation here. And oh, there is a little bit of stretch actually. Oh. Whoa, they do stretch? Oh, this solves all my... I had no idea. I genuinely... So then does it compress too? I had no idea that they would stretch that much. So then there's some compression there. Obviously that one needs to be further back because my spoiler is in the way. They totally... Look at that. They go in both directions. Wow, problem solved. All right, so let's move this a couple blocks that way. Let's move this a couple blocks that way. This definitely undercomplicates my job way more than I was anticipating after finding that out. All right, now we got the roll kit. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's see how close it gets on the front side. So this is like the opposite. This is the extension version. Okay, so you can see that difference there. That's actually pretty good. I'm liking that. And now let's do the backing up version. All right, I feel like it... is that more? Or is that the same? I'm trying to like gauge how many blocks it goes. It's looking like 3 blocks. If I'm just looking at where it starts right at the edge and then it ends right there. That's about 3 blocks. Now let's see if we can get a feel for the extension. I think that's more like 2 blocks extension. It's like a 2.5 blocks, it feels like, but that's plenty good enough. Can we get a sideways test here? Like, or how about diagonal should like kind of work. It should be able to go, yeah, you can see it can go diagonal because now these can compress off of each other. All right, so this is so promising. I think at its core, we pretty much have what we wanted. Here, let me do a real test here. Ooh. Oh, how does that still go there? All right, the results are not quite what I planned. Somehow, even though this didn't come in contact with anything as far as I know, why is the damage going there and not on the pipes? The pipes are the main thing contacting the things. Okay, you know, here's what I need to do. Maybe we just need to dial in. If we do like a lot of damping, little bit more stiffness. Maybe damping is... I don't know, that still feels kind of rough. Why is it translating to there? Like, look at it, the pipes aren't even doing anything. Wait, how did this take damage? Okay, there we go. That time the pipes took damage, but also the front of the car is taking damage. Okay, when I said in the beginning, the original goal of having it not translate damage to the car, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're not going for that anymore. I feel like the damage physics is just not going to agree with us there. Now it's just to have fun and create like an interesting concept, and see it work as mechanically intended. Results may not work as intended, but mechanically, the spirit is there. All right, now I want this thing to look a little bit more like a roll cage, but I need to do some measuring. I just want to make sure that we have a similar amount of distance on either side. So this is 5 blocks. I am just gonna move that in. It might look a little bit weird aesthetically, a little bit less likely of it hitting when we back into things. So this is like 5 blocks here. I want it to be, this is 6 blocks here. So I'm gonna extend the front out by a block. All right, so now we need to figure out what we're doing with the rest of it. I feel like if I just copy all of this, I feel like something like that. And then we need all of this to have like the central attachment point right here. Or we could have the central attachment point like right here. It would have to be like a square center. Because I want it to like come out like, I want to really give a cage vibe. I want it to come out like a cage too. I'm gonna build the cage first and worry about the attachment last. That might not be the best strategy, but I feel like it could be a winning strategy, and we'll find out when we get there. Oh, this, we're getting close to the complexity. I mean, we're not getting close. We've enabled the complexity meter, which means we've passed halfway. But pipework, this is complicated stuff. I would say it's complicated. It's tedious. It's a lot of individual shapes you gotta select. So now I'm trying to figure out how to make a slightly smaller circle coming out of here. Oh, I'm so close. Okay, so I've just modified the last little bit so I have a pathway of attachment here. There we go. No more blinking exclamation points in my head. All right, it's all painted. And by the looks of it, it's a lot heavier now. I don't know what this is gonna mean, but is this not the most roll cage protected car you've ever seen? Am I even still capable of drifting? I don't know. I feel like I can't even turn right now. I actually can't. I can't drift anymore. I got my my center, or my mass is too much, I think, for the programming I've set into this thing. But let's do some testing real quick. Let's do some light taps at different angles. We'll try forward. Oh yeah, no problem. Look at that. Forward is fine. Let's go with backwards. Yeah. Backwards looks good. It's hard to do directly sideways, but let's do like a strong diagonal. It doesn't want to tilt us in, but that's not the fault of the mechanism itself. That's just the direction of force. You know what? It actually might be better to spawn in a new one, because then I can hit that one at any angle that I want. So now we can try sideways. But we're looking at not mine, but the one up there. Yeah, you can see it clearly moving in at a sideways direction. So that is in the expansion direction for the sideways suspension. Now let's try this side. Oh no. Okay, well that is not at all. That's not at all how this is supposed to work. All right, I think it's working as intended. So now let's start doing some harder crashes and see what happens. Oh, that kind of worked. I mean, some of it still translated to the body, but I mean, it kind of felt like it would have been worse without it. It is feeling pretty good. I want to dial in the settings though, see if we can get something that actually is better than what we have right now. It honestly does feel like it does have the feel of cushioning things. I don't know if in practice, if it's really preventing as much. Okay, well, what's going on there? I don't know if it's really preventing as much damage. Roll cage. Sometimes, you know, it's like Pokemon. Sometimes you just gotta you gotta say the attack. Oh no. All right, hey, the roll cage is the one that took damage. I mean, we were taking damage, but I don't think we've lost any of our major parts yet. Okay, hold on. I'm seeing this is bothering me. I took these off for the suspension. Now I'm putting them back. All right, let me save this as a new creation. Save as. I don't want to accidentally override my drift car. All right, so we are not consistent with these measurements apparently. Hold on, let's see, what were we doing here? So this one is on damping 0.5. Oh, we only did one of them? Well, that's a huge difference. We never did the forward to back one with the higher dampening apparently. That's a big deal. Okay, let's see how this feels then. We only had sideways dampening. I don't like how it vibrates sometimes. You see the vibration? But this actually feels... This feels like it's working great. Oh, we still translated some damage back to the car. You know what this kind of makes me curious about? What if I double everything? What if I double the length of the suspension? That could be interesting. I kind of want to throw it off a cliff, although we don't have any underbelly. This isn't like a sphere, you know? We don't have any under suspension protection, or for that matter, if we landed upside down, this isn't that type of cushion either. This is only horizontal plane cushioning. I don't know what to expect here. It's kind of like a ramp. Okay. And now we're kind of stuck. You know what might be we have all these things. We have all these danger zone obstacles, course things. What if we just get hit by something? I really don't know what this is gonna entail here, but let's just see how it feels. Oh, it's going through. Well, that's cheating. Oh, we got the pushers up over there somewhere. No. I'm fine. My vehicle is totally fine. Here we go. Nothing is really going as... Nothing is really having the results that I wanted. Other than the mechanism, other than how the mechanism seems to work in all directions. Except for the fact that it doesn't work at all. It does work. It moves how I want it to move. It does not protect how I want it to protect. Hey, that looked pretty good. That looked pretty good. All right, roll cage. Down, face down. Okay. All right, I think we're okay. All right, what about something that's like a mobile object like these? Oh, I feel like it excels here. Yeah, this actually feels great. Oh, yeah. I like seeing how when it just flexes in the different directions, not just the single axis. All right, if we have damping all the way up, and then what if we put stiffness? Wait, why? Wait, did damping not get saved again? My bad. See if this feels different with the max damping. Yeah, I do think that higher damping is better. It feels like it keeps us from maxing out the compression too quickly. But let's try a lower stiffness with higher damping. Stiffness 0? That's probably really bad. Yeah, see, now when I'm going, it's already maxed out. So we definitely do. All right, let's go maximum stiffness. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually kind of liking maximum stiffness and maximum damping. What about against a wall? All right, well, once we hit a solid object, it changes everything. Let's lower the stiffness. I think 1 stiffness is fun. What about 0? I'm just for the sake of experiment, let's take it to another extreme. Go 0 damping. Okay, I don't know how I feel about it yet. Actually, so far out of those 2 tests, this is feeling better than maximum dampening. All right, never mind. I think my favorite setting was maximum damping, mid stiffness. Honestly, I really can't tell if anything is making a difference. All I know is I've got like my bumper car. This is like over-engineered roll cage, unnecessarily over-engineered roll cage to make this weird bumper car. All right, but I do want to try to double the distance of these. Okay, this is not at all an elegant solution, but I've just done it. Hopefully it all works one way or another. I mean, it looks like it. I am now realizing that I probably needed to make a little bit more space. But it actually seems to be protecting well enough. Let's go backwards. It actually might be like too stiff now. It actually seems to be working pretty well. I think this may have been worth it. Let's do another full speed crash test into something. Well, these things are usually pretty simple. Whoa, that was weird, but no damage to us. Is a double suspension the way to go? Ooh, hold on. Oh! This is the first time that the bars took damage and there's no visible signs of damage on the vehicle itself. We just had our first real success. Okay, let's ignore that real quick. That one didn't count. That one didn't count at all. Oh my goodness, the steering is so bad. Oh, okay, we got saved there. All right. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Oh, it's working. It's working. Look at this. No damage. All right, I'm feeling like this is finally all worth it. Okay, every single time I feel like I did it, it does that. But if we ignore all the times that it failed, it succeeded. In that context, it is just like, it is wildly successful. Oh, we got stuck. Hold on, let's just give it a little bit of a boot. There we go, unstuck. All right, let's do a diagonal one. Ready? All right, that looks cool. I like that landing. All right, I'm gonna say this is a pretty good success. It is most evident when you crash into these mobile things. Oh, look at that. That was great. Honestly, if this was more like real life, which we know like Trailmakers is really close, but if it was even more close to real life than it is right now, I feel like this would protect, okay, just like real life. I hate when this happens, but I feel like this would protect some level of damage to the driver. Like there just wouldn't be as much impact. It would just slow down the impact, right? This is like the egg drop challenge, but for car crashes. The human is the egg. So it was dumb. It was a dumb idea that I just wanted to see it. Wanted to see what happened. So I hope you guys enjoyed this process. If you have any other crazy ideas like this, let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed it, then you'll probably enjoy some more fun stuff like this that I do all the time on the channel right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.